Every generation believes it's living closer to the answers. Then science opens another door, and suddenly everything we thought we understood becomes a tiny piece of something far stranger. The greatest discoveries in human history didn't eliminate mystery. They multiplied it. Thousands of years ago, we wondered what lay beyond the mountains. Today, we ask what lies beyond the edge of the observable universe. We replaced simple questions with impossible ones. And two of those questions stand above all the others. How big is reality? And are we truly alone inside it? Ironically, the deeper scientists look into space, the less certain the universe appears to be. That uncertainty begins with something deceptively familiar. The sun. It dominates our sky. It powers every living thing on Earth. It is so enormous that over 1 million Earths could fit inside it.
For most of human history, that size seemed almost unimaginable. Then astronomy delivered an uncomfortable fact. The sun isn't extraordinary. It's just one ordinary star among hundreds of billions scattered across the Milky Way. And the Milky Way? It isn't extraordinary either. Powerful telescopes have revealed hundreds of billions of galaxies, each containing staggering numbers of stars of its own. Trying to picture these numbers isn't just difficult. Our brains simply didn't evolve to comprehend scales this vast. Imagine reducing every star in our galaxy to a single grain of sand. That beach wouldn't stretch for meters or kilometers, but for distances so immense they begin to lose meaning. The observable universe is already beyond ordinary comprehension.
Yet, many physicists suspect we've only seen an incredibly small fraction of what actually exists. Here's why. Light travels at a fixed speed. Because the universe has existed for a finite amount of time, there's a limit to how far light has been able to reach us. Everything beyond that horizon remains permanently hidden. Not because it isn't there, but because its light simply hasn't had enough time. Meanwhile, space itself is expanding. Even more unsettling, that expansion is accelerating. Entire galaxies are racing away so quickly that their light will never reach Earth. Not now, not ever. There are regions of reality forever disconnected from us. Invisible. Untouchable. Possibly infinite. But even that may not be the strangest possibility. Some theories suggest our universe isn't the whole story. Instead, it could be one tiny bubble in an unimaginably larger cosmic landscape. A multiverse. Different universes could possess different physical laws, different particles, different dimensions.
Some might collapse instantly. Others might never form stars. Many would be completely hostile to life. Yet somewhere among an almost inconceivable number of possibilities, one happened to allow galaxies, planets, oceans, and eventually, you. Certain versions of string theory even predict numbers so absurd they defy intuition. Vast collections of possible universes beyond anything ordinary mathematics encounters in daily life. Other interpretations go even further. Some physicists argue that reality continuously branches into parallel histories. In one branch, tiny quantum events unfold one way. In another, they unfold differently. Every possibility becomes real somewhere. If that's true, there may exist versions of you making different choices, living different lives, all separated by barriers no experiment has yet crossed. Other scientists reject this entirely. They argue there is only one universe, one history, one reality. And then philosophers complicate everything again by asking an even more unsettling question. How do we know reality itself isn't fundamentally different from how consciousness experiences it? After decades of extraordinary scientific progress, there is still no agreement. The true size of existence remains unknown. It could be astonishingly large. It could be infinite.
Or our assumptions could be completely wrong. But just when reality seems impossible to grasp, another mystery appears. If the universe is so enormous, where is everybody? The question sounds almost childish, until you do the math. Astronomers now know that planets are everywhere. Worlds orbit stars throughout our galaxy. Many likely contain liquid water.
Some resemble Earth surprisingly closely. Even conservative estimates suggest our galaxy alone may host tens of millions of potentially habitable planets. Now consider time. Earth formed billions of years after the universe began. That means countless planets had enormous head starts. If intelligent life emerged on only a tiny fraction of them, some civilizations should be millions or even billions of years older than ours. Think about what humanity accomplished in barely a century. We went from the first airplanes to landing on the moon, from room-sized computers to artificial intelligence. Project that technological acceleration across millions of years? Such civilizations wouldn't merely be advanced, they would appear almost magical. Entire stars could become power sources. Planets could be engineered. Galaxies might be crossed. And yet, the sky remains strangely silent.
This contradiction became famous through a simple question posed by physicist Enrico Fermi. Where is everybody? The answers range from comforting to terrifying. Perhaps intelligent life is unimaginably rare. Maybe evolving simple organisms is common, but developing technology happens only under extraordinarily unlikely circumstances. On Earth, it happened exactly once. Maybe we were the lottery winners. Or maybe civilizations never last very long. Every society invents increasingly powerful technologies: artificial intelligence, biotechnology, nuclear weapons, planetary engineering. Eventually, perhaps every civilization creates something it cannot fully control. The universe may not be empty. It may be filled with civilizations that disappeared before anyone heard from them. Another possibility is even darker. Imagine the galaxy as a silent forest. Every civilization hides. Nobody broadcasts their location because nobody knows who might be listening. The safest strategy is absolute silence. If that's true, our attempts to announce ourselves to the cosmos may not be courageous. They may be dangerously naive. Of course, reality could be far stranger.
Perhaps advanced civilizations abandon radio long before we learn to detect them. Maybe they communicate using physics we haven't discovered yet. Perhaps intelligence eventually shrinks itself into microscopic digital worlds requiring almost no energy. A civilization millions of years older than ours might exist inside something no larger than a grain of dust. Or perhaps life no longer resembles biology at all. Maybe consciousness becomes information, and information spreads through reality in ways we're only beginning to imagine. There is another possibility, one that often goes unnoticed. Maybe we simply haven't looked carefully enough. Humanity has searched only a tiny fraction of the galaxy. Compared to the size of the cosmic ocean, our exploration barely extends beyond the shoreline. New telescopes are beginning to analyze the atmospheres of distant planets. Scientists can now search for chemical fingerprints that life might leave behind.
Meanwhile, projects searching for extraterrestrial intelligence continue collecting enormous amounts of data, inviting researchers around the world to help search for patterns hidden inside the cosmic noise. For the first time in history, these questions are slowly becoming scientific instead of purely philosophical. But perhaps the most remarkable discovery isn't waiting somewhere among the stars. Perhaps it's happening here, inside us. Because regardless of whether reality contains one universe, an infinite multiverse, or countless civilizations, there is one extraordinary fact we already know. The universe produced beings capable of wondering about itself. Atoms organized into brains. Brains created curiosity. Curiosity built telescopes. And telescopes uncovered mysteries larger than anyone expected. Every answer expanded the frontier. Every discovery revealed another question waiting beyond it. Maybe that's the real pattern.
Knowledge doesn't shrink mystery. It transforms it. The horizon keeps moving. And that's exactly why the story of science never ends. One day, we may detect another civilization. We may discover evidence for parallel universes. Or we may learn that our deepest assumptions about reality were incomplete all along. Whatever happens, the greatest adventure has never been reaching the answers. It's realizing how many astonishing questions are still waiting to be asked.